Zos Tihiyah Torah Metzora. Let's continue on. They had to. Okay. This is the Torah of the Metzora. This is the Torah of the Metzora. Is somebody that gets an affliction on his skin or her skin from the sin of the Aveira of Lashon HaRah, saying bad things about other people. So Biyom Taharaso, the day that he is purified. Vihuva El HaKohen, and he's brought to the Kohen to look him over, to see what's the story, how it should be taken care of. The Medrash, Lefi Shenemar, in the Medrash it says, because it says, V'al Pihem Yihyeh Kol Riv V'chol Nega. On the saying of the Kohen should be all of the arguments of the Bnei Yisrael, V'chol Nega, and all of their things like all of the afflictions. In other words, that the Kohen should be able to be a judge between all of the arguments of the Bnei Yisrael. People have different arguments between each other, so you bring it to the Kohen, the Chol Nega, or let's say, if God forbid somebody gets this affliction on the skin because of Lashon HaRah, you bring that should be brought to the Kohen. He is like a doctor, you might say. He is the one that takes care of this. Bekosha, and it's hard to explain. It's Ad Rabbah. Hasam, over there it says, Habalei Lameimar, I would think, Lefaresh Shenamar Zos Tiyeh Torah Metzora, because it says, and this should be the Torah of the Metzora, of the one that gets this affliction. The Torah meaning that the way that should be taken care of, according to the laws of Hashem. Behuva El HaKohen, it should be brought to the Kohen. The Hocha Ikar V'Hosam Agab Gerara Nosava. Over there, it's the Hocha Ikar. Over there, it's the main thing. The Hocha over here, Ikar, it's the main thing. That this is the Torah of the Metzora, B'yom Taharaso, the day that he will become Torah, V'huva El HaKohen, and he's brought to the Kohen. So the Hacha Ikar, that over here it's the main thing, bringing to the Kohen. V'hasam Agav Gerara Nasava, and over there it's like on the side it's brought. It says the fish and emmer, because it says V'al Pihem Yihyeh Kol Riv V'chol Nega. So that's like on the side. Al Pihem, on the word of the Kohen, should be all of the arguments should be solved, and it should be brought to the Kohen V'chol Nega, and all of the afflictions. Okay. V'hasam Agav Gerara Nosava, and over there it's like the Kohen is like brought on the side. L'chein yesh lamar sheba hamedrash l'seis tam lama ba hakosov v'tala toharas hanegoyim b'kohen. So therefore, we're learning here sheba medrash. The medrash comes l'seis tam to give a reason why the pasuk says, and it hangs it makes it dependent upon the tahara, the purification of the negoyim, of these afflictions, on what the Kohen says. Why does the Torah say that whatever that this affliction should be tended to by a Kohen? It makes it dependent upon what the Kohen says. Dayaka amnam. So amna ikar hadavar kach hu. The main part of the thing is like this: lefisha hanegoyim boim al Lashon HaRah, because the negoyim, this affliction, comes from Lashon HaRah, the sinas habrios, and hatred of one's fellow people. So that's why we say Lashon HaRah, because we have a sinner. So we have a hatred, God forbid, to a certain person or whatever it is. So we have the desire to say bad things about that person or people. So that's why Habrios. So in other words, this is a bad thing. Of course, this is a terrible thing. So we bring it to the Kohen. The Yeser Hadavarim and other things, Hamivawarim, other Inyanim, other things that are brought b'medrash, in the medrash. Via Kohen who Hamemona Leishev Berosh Ha'am. The Kohen is the one that is appointed to sit at the head of the people. Ulahadrichem b'derech yeshara, and to guide them along the good way, the good path of the Torah. The Kohanim were the Talmidei Chachamim, and they knew they are supposed to teach the people. Ulahadrichem b'derech yeshara, to take them along the good way. Torah Semes, the law of truth, befihu, the law of truth is in his mouth, is what he talks about. V'la'asos shalom bein ish l'reyehu, and he should be the one that makes peace between man and his fellow person and his friend, man and his friend. And if there's, God forbid, an argument, people don't like each other, whatever reason, so bring it to the Kohen, and he's the one that will mediate and get things to its right conclusion according to the Torah. V'chein hu hanimna gamkein al refuas hanagoyim, and he is also the same person that is appointed by the Torah al refuas hanagoyim, on healing the nagoyim, this affliction of the skin brought by the saying of Lashon HaRah. Yanhu yachkor achar shoresh hamachala. So therefore he will, because he's the one that will do the investigation after the source of this machala, of this sickness, yanega, and this affliction. May ayin yavo, why did it come, from where it came? And it became because, of course, he said Lashon HaRah. And on what sin brought the person to this affliction? In other words, this is a spiritual affliction. This nega, this affliction of the skin. So for what reason did it come? This is something that the Kohen should go and investigate. The Fishan Emar, because it says, V'alpihem, according to what the Kohen says, Hainu lefi motze sefasov, according to what comes out of the Kohen's mouth. In other words, whatever the Kohen decides, diburo tochachos lefi motze sefasov diburo, the words that come out of his mouth, in other words, his decisions of the Kohen, tochachos, this is like to teach us the right way, to lead us the right way. It's like giving us instruction. Musar, asher befiv, that is in the Kohen's mouth, that will issue forth from his mouth. Lefizeh, because of this, yakar b'inyan harivos v'hanagoyim, because of this, this is the inyan of people that are having arguments with each other, and also the nega of Metzora, Tzoraas, lakach v'huva el hakohen. So in these two things that you should be brought to the Kohen, ki b'yodo l'refauso me'ikara the dinner, because from this this from his, what the Kohen knows will be the refuah, because the Kohen is versed in Hashem's Torah, and he knows what to do, how to heal this particular machala, this particular sickness, because it's a spiritual sickness from the saying of Lashon HaRah. So therefore, the Kohen should be the arbiter, because the Kohen is the one that is learning, is very close to Hashem. He's doing the avodah. So he's the peacemaker. So it's brought to the Kohen. The various machlokas and the various disputes are brought to the Kohen, and also the nega of Tzoraas, because Tzoraas is brought about Metzora. It's brought about by the saying of bad things about one's fellow, about one's friends, So thank you very much. This is from the Sefer of Be'er Shmuel, from Rav Shmuel Rosenberg, Zecher Tzaddik Levracha. He was the Av Bezdin of Rosh Mesivta of Kehila Kedisha of Ornsdorf. Right, you don't go to. Thank you for listening.